if we look at PFAS regulation and ask ourselves, what can we build on? What is there already? How do we address these challenges that we have? Of course, there's similarities to material compliance challenges that have been tackled before. Trying to find out what is in your products, trying to track it down, and going back into the data that you have. So first and foremost is, on the one hand, get an idea of the substances you're talking about. And there's a lot of sources that you can look into. There's IMDS for the automotive industry that have put together a group of substances. There's information, there's a list from the OECD who have put in a lot of care and effort to pull together a very large list of substances covered. There's a list from the US Environmental Protection Agency. And then there's, of course, also the trade unions, the industry unions that are starting to look into that and pull together information on substances that are relevant, that are highly used in specific areas. So try and chop down the elephant by looking at a smaller section. And then, of course, look at the data that you already have. Dig into the data, try and find out what do you already have, what might hotspots be, what is a typical use of substances in the area that you're working in, to try and find out key products, key building parts that you're purchasing from your suppliers, to find out and to start with the data that you have, to then spread out, and don't try and to stick with the elephant, eat the whole elephant at one point in time. And from what we've done in our compliance solution is we've built a very large list of substances. We've even broken down the list in a chemical logic into substance groups. So chopping down that very large list onto smaller lists to make it easier to handle. Also in a perspective of potentially upcoming regulations, so that you already see, am I looking at larger structures, smaller structures, a specific kind of chemical structure that might be regulated, to help our customers determine what they currently have, where their hotspots are, and then take it from there. There is what we call a rule group available covering PFAS substances that allows them to browse through their data and identify where they already have PFAS, to then, on the one hand, being able to start with their reporting obligations, and on the other hand, try and identify either where data might be lacking, identify what key parts and suppliers they might want to talk to then go further and further in their supply chain, build up their data to then be up and ready for reporting when it comes in 2026.